Greetings and salutations. This is Rick Koppel, and I have Parkinson's disease, and this is my journey. So I just wanted to give some updates as to where things are at currently, because there's been a little bit of changes. Last I was basically taking Cinemat, 2 pills 3 times a day, and Mirapax, generic version, which I can't pronounce the name of that, so I'll just call it generic version of Mirapax. And I was taking 1 pill of those 3 times a day. And then the Amantadine, which was 2 100 milligram pills, 100 milligram pills 2 times a day, or 200 milligrams per day. And that was pretty well working for me to give the minimum amount of dyskinesia, the maximum amount of bonding time, and somewhat normal life, so to speak, as much as can be had, because nothing so far has been perfect in that regard. But it worked overall. It was keeping me in decent shape. So there's been a little bit of change on that, because I went to ophthalmologist because I've been noticing that my eyesight is a little bit fuzzy. So I would see signs on the road, and it seemed like they were harder to read than they should be, especially the further away ones. And even with my glasses, so I figured I needed to get my glasses corrected. Well, come to find out, as I went to the ophthalmologist, and they were doing the eye exam to determine what type of glasses I needed, and if any adjustments to my current prescription. And as it turns out, my right eye needed a little bit of adjustment, but not much. But my left eye, surprisingly enough, I couldn't really see out of that very well. When I put my hand over the one eye to read things, I could not read anything hardly that he put up there, no matter how big he made it. And the magnification on the eyeglass thing, where he's saying it is clearer or better, I couldn't get any clarity at all, no matter what magnification he went up to. So he indicated that was something more than just generic eye issues, and that something else was going on that needed to be looked into. So he's referring me to an optometrist. So I'm not getting those two things reversed. I think his optometrist is what I went to, and ophthalmologist is what I'm going to go to, or should go to, what I'm being referred to. So as it boils down to it, I highly suspected that the Amantadine, which has a known side effect of blurring vision, even though it's not common, I highly suspected that that might be what was going on, because it seems like I've always had a little bit of blurred vision affected a little bit since I started taking Amantadine. And then when I was on the Amantadine trial earlier this year, where believed I was getting probably the highest dosage of Amantadine, it seemed like it was more pronounced. So after talking with my neurologist about it, we agreed that the best thing for me to do was to wean myself off the Amantadine and see if that doesn't improve the vision in my left eye. So that's where we stand on that, and I'm currently titrating down off of the Amantadine, so I'm taking 1 pill a day now, at least for the next week. Going to evaluate at the end of the week whether it seems like it's helped my vision or not, and if it has a little bit or hasn't, I'll probably go totally off of it and see if that makes any effect. If it pretty much clears up my vision, I may just stick with the 1 pill of Amantadine a day. We'll see, because it does seem to help with this dystonia in my left arm, which is the main reason I've kept taking it. And it kind of spreads the effect out of the other medications, so they kind of spread over the time period more instead of more of the abrupt drop. And so that's pretty much where it stands at this point. I'm currently titrating down, and I really can't tell for sure if my vision has improved in that left eye yet. I started titrating down Tuesday, so it's only been about 3 or 4 days, and so this next Tuesday I'll evaluate, Tuesday or Wednesday I'll evaluate whether I should totally go off Amantadine or not, which I'm guessing probably at this point I probably will, and see how I do with that. Hopefully by titrating down like this I won't have what happened the last time I went off Amantadine, which is basically my symptoms got significantly worse, and I didn't titrate down very much on that because I would have had to buy a whole new package of pills, which I should have just gone and said I just need X number of pills and titrate it down better, but we were kind of in a hurry at the time anyway. So other than that, things are going pretty well. I'm still pretty much independently motivated and working, being able to shave, and I have to be careful. I have to do it at the right time of day. Usually in the beginning of the morning is when I'm most steady with my hands, so otherwise I'd be gouging big clumps of hair out of my beard, so I tried to trim it with a trimmer. And I'm still able to drive and get around without any big issues. You can tell I have a slight minor dyskinesia right now, which is kind of where I'm at with the dyskinesia on it. It's kind of hard to get totally rid of it without ending up getting all shaky like that. Well, something like that, not quite that drastic at this point. But if I was to be totally off my meds, I would be a mess. And that wouldn't be fun at all for any of us. And then on the other note is that I'm still doing all my exercises and spending in the neighborhood of about 10 to 14 hours a week at the gym working out, 4 Zumba classes, a Pilates class, a body step class, a body pump class, and several hours of pickleball and an aqua Zumba class. So I stay pretty busy. It's kind of like I consider it my part-time job now since I'm on disability, to keep myself in shape and keep my muscles from deteriorating. And so far it seems to have helped quite a bit. I would say this year and last year have been some of my best years since getting this disease. And I think I've gone through the list of symptoms that it has helped significantly in the past, so I won't re-roll through all those. But that's where I think I'm getting the most bang for my buck. I'm really making use of the amount we're paying for our gym membership. I squeeze all the work goodness out of that I can. And on November the 12th, we're having a Y-Strong party. Y-Strong was something they started back in February, where you record the hours that you work out at the gym on the cards, and the person that got 100, when you passed 100, you got a little prize, and you passed the next 100, you got another prize, so on and so forth. Apparently, I'm the only one that has gotten past 400 hours since February in the gym. So according to what I've heard, nobody's even close, and so I'm pretty much the winner of the Y-Strong party thing, and I'm supposed to get a couple of gifts from that with the party, so I'm looking forward to that, and also looking forward to having my wife join me in body pump, which she hasn't had an opportunity to do. That should be fun, and see how she does with that. It's sometimes a little strenuous, especially for first timers, even though they go light on the weights. But it's really helped me build my muscle back up so that I'm walking well and doing all the things that I need to do. So I'll leave it at that. I'm going to see my neurologist later this month. I believe it's the 14th, and all those that are working on nano. I haven't been able to do that for the last 2 or 3 years, just simply having a hard time finding time to do a lot of writing, and two, I'm just a slow typer now, thanks to Parkinson's. But you can see my meds are working pretty well at the moment. But when I play pickleball, they kind of get a little worse, especially my right hand. But it's really strange because even though it's shaking in between swings, when I go to swing, it steadies up, and I play pretty well. So we're going to go do that tonight, me and my wife. And so with that note, I'll sign out, and that's your update for this period. I'll let you know how the neurologist meeting goes and what's decided. Just as a reminder, the goal is when I get Medicare in March, we're going to looking at doing deep brain stimulation to get me off of my meds, hopefully totally, or at least most of the way, so that it will take care of the dyskinesia, and maybe I'll have less periods of shaking and I can do things better. We'll see how that goes. The idea of somebody sticking something in my brain isn't too appealing, but if it helps me get a few more good years of productivity, maybe even help me to where I can speed up my writing, that would be great. So I'll sign off, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.